Shit. Hello, whoever's in chat. Unless you're a troll. Just trying to be stupid. So, I'm on here again. For those of you that can help American Amy get to Meghan Walsh's court date, it's going to cost $120 for an Uber. We can help get her back. If you can donate via PayPal, do so. If you do it via Cash App, do it. She did ask that if you do it through PayPal to donate friends and family, so that way it doesn't take the percentage off. And she says with good faith and with the Lord's help, she'll be able to get there tomorrow. But this is about Meghan Walsh. As many of you know, she's been covering the Meghan Walsh story for about 6 months now. She's put into a lot of hard work on it, as well as the channel Punish No More, the and symbol Free to Protect on YouTube. You can go watch videos on that. Meghan Walsh has been fighting John and Reve Walsh. Most of you know him as the host of America's Most Wanted. So the story begins with the fact of what happened with Adam Walsh. Meghan started realizing, with her family's history and the people and the connections that they knew, she decided she was going to do some investigating. And she found some discrepancies in the story, and she started asking questions. So John and Reve, in retaliation, decided to take Meghan's children from her by having CPS remove them. She's been fighting CPS for almost 2 years now, and nobody wants to touch the story because, hey, it's John Walsh and Reve Walsh. And people look down on Meghan for losing her children, and her trial starts tomorrow. Anyone that can get to the Indian River County Courthouse in Florida at 9 a.m. to be out there to support Meghan, please do so. Some of the discrepancies are things like why John nor Reve were the ones that identified the head of Adam Walsh that was found, why it was the neighbor, and why the neighbor said that wasn't Adam Walsh's head because of the fact that the front teeth were not missing. Among other things that had happened, and other information that was found out. Again, there's plenty of research. There's Reddit, BitChute, Rumble, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and also just remember, if you do show up tomorrow, it's a peaceful protest on behalf of Meghan. But we're trying to raise awareness for a good cause, to let others know, that the grass isn't always green on the other side. Public persona versus personal persona. Keep in mind, Meghan Walsh didn't ask to be born into this family. She just was. And it's not fair to Meghan to be silenced because of the fact of who her parents are, John and Reve. These are the people who The mother allowed her 6-year-old son to be alone in an arcade at the mall while she went shopping the day that her son went missing, and apparently, a few weeks later, he was found murdered and decapitated, and all they found was a head, never no body. This is the person, who grew up thinking her father was a hero because he put bad guys away for things that they did, and he was fighting for justice. The man who helped create the Center for National Center for the Missing and Exploited Children. And let's keep in mind, there's people that's in this YouTube community that's been on there that were accused of being missing that were not missing. She's dealt with a lot. She really has. And she just wants the truth out there. And when she started asking questions about why things didn't add up, why there was discrepancies, John and Reve retaliated and said that she was, mentally unstable and this and that and the fifth and third, and had her children removed from her care, custody, and control, and placed in their care, custody, and control. You talk about parents being bad because, they leave their children unattended or this or that or the fifth or third. Let's keep in mind, nothing happened to Reve when she left her 6-year-old son unattended in that mall the day that her son came up missing. But y'all want to think highly of these people and think that these people deserve to have these children in their care, custody, and control. A 77-year-old man raising 3 small children along with his wife, who allowed his son to be taken from a mall, kidnapped, and apparently murdered and beheaded. But yet they couldn't even identify their son's own head. It was someone else. It was a neighbor. It wasn't the parents. What kind of parents does that? I'm sorry, if you think that's my child, I'm going to go and I'm going to look because I want to know if that's really my child or not. Because that's who I am as a parent. I love my children enough to walk up and look and be like, if that's my child or not. Because then I can know without a shadow of a doubt and know 100% if that would have been my child. What kind of parent does that? Seriously. Exactly. Yeah, Otto, got you. I mean, it's been hell because Meghan's tried to figure out, the whole truth behind Adam's disappearance. And now, because she started asking questions to her parents, they want to call her crazy and say she's not capable of taking care of her own children. These children have suffered. Meghan has suffered. They have suffered heartache and pain and trauma. And it's not fair. It's really not. So anyone who can come out and help support this cause, do so. And remember, there's Reddit, there's Rumble, there's BitChute, there's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's YouTube. And 2 of the channels I highly suggest you going and watching videos on is Punish No More, the and symbol, Free to Protect. There's a lot of videos on there about the Walshes. Just scroll through, watch them. There's interviews with Meghan. There's videos about John and Reve. There's videos about Adam. I suggest you highly, 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 and I highly recommend you watch the one about Adam, because that one is very, very, very eye-opening. And then keep in mind, like I said, Meghan didn't ask for the fame. Meghan didn't ask for the fortune. Meghan didn't ask to have her brother go missing before she was ever thought about. You know, she didn't imagine growing up knowing that she had an older brother who was murdered. And I'm sure she would have loved to have been able to play with her brother, grow up with him, have him as an older brother to protect her, to be there by her side through school, through through it all. Be an uncle to her children, um, be there for her career, her success, all of that. I'm sure she would have loved that. And it's not fair to her that she's being judged solely on the fact that she wanted questions answered by her mother and her father. The only two people who know the real truth, which is her mother and her father. So why take her children away based on the fact that she wanted to ask questions? These are the same people that have for 2 years managed to keep this off of mainstream media. No news station has touched this whatsoever. No news station has made it aware that John Walsh and Reve Walsh is fighting Meghan Walsh on custody of her children. That Meghan Walsh is this crazy person and a horrible mother and mentally unstable for taking care of her children, blah, blah, blah. No, it's Meghan speaking out. Meghan is raising awareness as to what's going on. Because for 2 years, these people have sat here and kept silent because they don't want no one to know the truth. They don't want people finding out just who these people really are. They're scared. They're trying to do everything in their power to make her be silent. But you know what? Other people have heard the story. They can't make us be silent. And I refuse to be silent. After what I went through and the corruption and the hell that I've been through and everyone else that I know that's been through, it's time to speak up. It's time to let others know that this is no longer going to be kept quiet. John and Reve Walsh are going to be exposed for the people that they are. And it all started with the fact that Meghan Walsh finally spoke out and people started doing videos, and it just so happened to get to the right people. And thank God for American Amy, who was in Florida and was able to make others aware, like me and Fuck DSS and a few others in the community, that Meghan Walsh was going through this, because she started investigating of what really happened to her brother, Adam John Walsh. And I cannot thank American Amy enough for being at that one court date and doing a live stream that day. That brought attention to so many in this community, and we were able to be made aware of just what was going on, and we were able to do our own investigations and discover the truth ourselves. So for any of you who can be out there at the Indian River County Courthouse at 9 a.m. in Florida, please do so. Be there to support Meghan, to show her support. And for any of y'all who can help American Amy get to Meghan Walsh's court date tomorrow via an Uber, she's about an hour and a half away from here. It's going to cost her $120 to get there. Her PayPal link is in the chat. So is her Cash App. If you can donate to her via PayPal, please do so via friends and family, so she gets the full amount instead of just part of it. But Amy has put her heart and soul into this, and she has made so many people aware of Meghan Walsh fighting John and Reve, because Meghan tried to figure out the truth behind what really happened to her brother. And now her children and her are suffering, and CPS is involved. And her TPR trial starts tomorrow. and it's going to be hard for her. So, anyone and everyone who can come out and support her, please do so, because Meghan is just the chill, down to earth person. She wants happiness. You know, speaking with Meghan, she said, when you got all these assistants and everything else and stuff, she said, growing up, in a rich family, you have all the stuff. She wanted to learn to do these things because she said one day she would have to do them for herself, because she wouldn't have assistants and stuff like her mother and her father have. It was things she wanted to learn to do that was taken away from her as a child. She didn't ask for her family to be rich because of what happened to her brother. She never wanted that. Meghan wanted a normal childhood. Meghan wanted to be like the other kids, to have things to do, to learn how to cook, to learn how to, fold clothes and do other things in life. And all that was taken away from her. And now here she is fighting for her children, the same man and woman who were never looked at for why his wife left her son at 6 years old unattended at the arcade in the mall for her to go shopping the day her son went missing, and then him found a little over 2 weeks later beheaded, but they couldn't even identify his head. It was the neighbor. That's still, I just, y'all don't understand how bad that blows my mind. Are you a parent, but you can't even go over there and see if that's your own child's head after your child has been missing for almost 18 days? And even the neighbor says it's not your child, but you just go along with it that it was your child and said, yeah, that's your child. There's no need for you to identify it. It's going to be your child's head. No. Also, the same man who admits in his own book that when him and his wife got together and started having relations, that he knew his wife was under the legal age of consent to be able to do anything in the state that he was in. So you're telling me you knew it was illegal, but you still did it with her anyway, knowing that she wasn't of legal age to consent, and you admitted in your book, but you're still a good person? No, I'm sorry. That's not how it works. But this is the same man who wanted to put other people behind bars for their wrongdoings. But he deserved to be behind bars himself because he touched someone who was not of legal age to consent at the time of her age in the state they were in. He should have been behind bars. He should have been on the registry. But people don't look at that. People don't think about that. People don't think about, oh my God, Reve never got punished for her child being left alone at 6 years old in a mall while she went shopping unattended by his own mother. But let's go out here and say, that these people are horrible because they want to go camping with their children, or, they want to take their children to a rally so their children can understand, that they can be proud of who they are, that there's hundreds of people backing them, that they're loved and they're cared about. The same people who are looked down upon for trying their best to make ends meet by working 2 jobs and paying their bills so that way their kids have a roof over their head and they have food in their stomachs and they have lights on, but they're always alone with like the babysitter or something. So these parents look down upon because they work too much and they can't provide for their children and take care of their children. So these parents deserve to lose their children. Or about the mother who's in the wheelchair, and because she's paralyzed from the waist down, CPS feels like she's not a fit parent to be able to take care of her children. And the dad failed a drug test for marijuana So they placed the children in a foster family where the foster mom's boyfriend was a recovering crack addict who relapsed and ended up hurting this child while in CPS's custody at this foster home. I mean, do y'all not understand? When people are speaking out against CPS corruption, it's not just for one person, it's not for two people, it's for multiple families. Dear Erica Parsons in our state of North Carolina, missing for 2 years. The mother had lost custody of her child. Erica was with the foster family for 2 years. CPS never went back out to check on Erica after the foster family adopted Erica. For 2 years, this family sat here and drew a check on this girl. It took the foster brother going to school and finally telling them, look, I think something's really wrong with my, adopted foster sister, whatever you want to call her. And they're like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, she's been gone for 2 years. I haven't seen her in 2 years, and she's supposed to be with our family. And it finally raises a red flag, and they go out and they realize the foster parents have been drawing a check on this child for over 2 years, but this child was gone. There was no more Erica Parsons. The mother was highly upset because, you know, she loved her daughter. She did her best for her daughter, and her daughter was still taken from her, and her daughter was murdered. And these people were drawing a check on her for 2 years, and nobody ever realized it. CPS sitting here giving a check to this family for 2 years, and this child isn't even in that home. She's gone. She wasn't laid to rest properly. None of that. So it's not just one person I'm speaking out for every time I speak out on CPS corruption. It's all of them. It's all of the kids who have been failed by the CPS system. It's all of the parents who have been failed by the CPS system. It's all of the heartache and the trauma and the pain and the anger and the sweat and the tears that these families have had to go through because they loved their children, and their children were taken from them for no reason whatsoever. A question, multiple calls back to back to back to back to back to back to back of the same thing, of the same lie that's been unfounded multiple times, but all of a sudden you find it founded all of a sudden after years. That's not how it works. And it shouldn't work like that. So again, for those of you who can make it out tomorrow to be there for Meghan, please do so. It's at the Indian River County Courthouse in Vero Beach, Florida. Vero City Beach, Florida. Whatever, Vero Beach, Vero City Beach. It's the same thing. But anyways, be out there for her, 9 a.m. She has a court date tomorrow. She also has one the 11th. Well, it's today now. She has one the 10th. She has one the 11th. Both of them start at 9 a.m. If you can get out here to help her, please do so. She's asking for peaceful protests. So if you come, please be peaceful about it. Anyone who wants to share this out tomorrow can do so. If you want to raise awareness, do your own whatever video, anything, do so. Just remember, hashtag Save Meghan's Children. That's MEGHANS, Meghan's Children. Save Meghan's Children. We're trying to get light to it, and I hope that more people can be there, more people can share it out. Tune into my channel, which is Mommy of Many. Not Mom of Many, Mommy of Many. And also, fuck DSS. He'll be out there tomorrow. He'll be the one doing most of the lives. I will not be there physically, but I will be there behind the scenes showing support. So, any of you that can share it out tomorrow, please do so. Again, if you can help American Amy get to Meghan Walsh's court date tomorrow via an Uber, it's going to cost $120. Me and Fuck DSS will make sure that she gets back to where she needs to go. She's got transportation on the 11th. She just needs help with at least getting there tomorrow. So, anyone that can help her get to the court date tomorrow at 9 a.m., PayPal, she asked to do it. Friends and family, she also has Cash App. Please keep in mind, when you do it friends and family, she receives the whole amount. When you do it Cash App, she receives the whole amount as well. But she says with the good Lord behind her that she has a feeling that she'll wake up with the money that she needs to get there tomorrow. Her information is in the chat for any of you that can help donate to help get American Amy there, because she's been covering this story for so long and she deserves to be there tomorrow, because the TPR trial is one of the most important turning points of all of this. And I hope to see success. Blessings have been coming through. Not just, I'm not talking about Amy, but blessings have been coming through for Meghan Walsh. So let's try to get American Amy blessed and let's get her out there tomorrow. She needs help with an Uber. So anyone that can help with the Uber, please do so. I know she would greatly, greatly appreciate it when she wakes up in the morning and she sees that she's got $120 there for her to get an Uber to get there for Meghan's court date. And I know she will be ecstatic. And again, we'll make sure she gets back to where she needs to go. It's just an hour and a half there, an hour and a half back. That would be a 3-hour drive. The court date starts at 9. That means you'd have to be up before 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's already 2 o'clock here. So, pray, yes. As Fuck DSS said, prayers, hopes, and thoughts needed in honor of Eric Brandt. I'm hoping that everything's okay with that. I'm not sure. I'm sure I'll be updated once I get in there and talk to Fuck DSS. But also, please keep your thoughts and prayers with Meghan Walsh tomorrow. She needs them because, like I said, this is one of the key turning points in all of this with the TPR trial tomorrow. And the good Lord's working in mysterious ways. He's, blessing people. And I know he's been blessing Meghan. He blessed her last court date. Let's hope and pray that he blesses her this court date and we can get something moving on her behalf. So please tune in tomorrow. And anyone that can help share the stream out tomorrow, please do so. Because it's not only going to bring awareness, but the more people we reach about this, the more people we can get to help fight and stand up for this corruption and it ending. Just remember that. And also, do your research. Punish no more and free to protect. And American Amy, they both got videos. Go out there and watch them, guys. Not counting traffic. Yeah, not counting traffic, FTSS. So again, it would be really hard to get there, in enough time. So anyone that can help her to where she can get her Uber to get there would be greatly appreciated. Hello, MCW Joker. Welcome in. I've kind of been chit-chatting for about 30 minutes now, updating people, about what's going on with Meghan Walsh. If you don't mind going back and watching the stream, doing some investigation of your own, sharing out the stream at 9 a.m., whatever. We've got to get people aware of this, y'all. It's not fair to Meghan, But keep her in your thoughts and your prayers. Keep Eric Brand in your thoughts and prayers. And just remember, as many would say, many people would say, happy fuck the cops day and twice on Tuesday. Shit is fucked up and stuff. And just be there tomorrow in support for Meghan Walsh. And again, anyone who can help out American Amy, please do so she can get there. And we look forward to seeing most of you tomorrow. I know Fuck DSS will be out there. I'm going to be restreaming his live if I can figure it out. I got to have him teach me. But let's just hope that all goes well for Meghan tomorrow and that God moves the way he needs to move. And thank you all for coming out. And we look forward to definitely seeing y'all tomorrow.